This is the Fox 25 News at 11.
Good morning and thanks for joining us for Fox 25 News at 11. I'm Wayne Stafford. We have weather to talk about today. A cold front has knocked down the severe storm threat. Let's get right to Elliot Wilson, who is tracking our next big weather maker. Elliot.
Yeah, we've had this line of storms tracking through our area most of the morning, and we did have a couple of warnings earlier this morning, but now that the cold front's gotten a little ahead of these storms, our severe threat has actually started to go down a bit. It's not at completely zero yet. We could still see a little bit of development as we head throughout the next few hours, but we're mainly looking to just see some heavy showers as we go into the midday hours now. We can see a little bit of rain developing right along that frontal boundary, even over the western portion of the metro area. We've got a few spotty showers that are starting to fire up, and we'll continue seeing this trend as we head throughout the next couple of hours. But something else we got to talk about are these winds. Winds are streaming in from the northwest now. We got wind gusts around 30 miles an hour in quite a few spots, and that has really brought down our temperatures. I mean, look at this temperature difference that this cold front has brought. You can see clearly where that cold front is. Oklahoma City still in the low 70s, but not too far off to the northwest. We've got those temperatures dipping down into the 40s, and we are going to be seeing some pretty chilly conditions as we go throughout the evening. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a few minutes.
Thanks, Elliot. Let's get to breaking news. Crews are still on scene of a semi-rollover crash on I-35 near Northeast 36. Fox 25's Victor Park has been following this rollover all morning long. Victor, what progress have you seen?
Well, we just saw crews lifted the 18-wheeler onto a tow truck, and out of that ditch, the 18-wheeler tipped over onto. So that was the most difficult part of this operation. It took several hours to get that done. They also have cleaned up the majority of what spilled, which is grain used to feed cattle. What we know so far, according to Oklahoma Highway Patrol officers, is that earlier this morning, a driver of that 18-wheeler was driving along the southbound lanes of I-35 when, according to the driver, someone cut him off, and that is when he lost control, tipping the truck over and losing the entire front axle of that truck. So right now they are continuing to clean up the mess over here, and then also they are performing some repairs on a guardrail the truck hit before losing control. Again, cleanup effort continues here, but I-35 is still shut down. The southbound lanes, traffic is being diverted onto I-44. That is the latest from here. I'll send it back to you.
And we are following a developing story this morning. That is where sources are saying that former President Donald Trump is expected to make an announcement that he will be starting his 2024 campaign in just a matter of weeks. The former president reportedly preparing to announce a presidential bid for the 2024 later on this month. Two sources close to the former president say November 14th is the date he is expected to make that announcement, shortly after the midterm elections. One source says that the timing of the announcement is just dependent on how Republicans do at the polls during the midterm elections. We'll be watching for updates here at the live desk.
Jennifer, thank you. Well, back here at home, a woman is in critical condition after she was hit by a car. This happened near Northwest 10th and MacArthur at around 2:30 a.m. Right now, police say that they don't have a description of who hit the woman. We'll have updates right here on Fox 25. To developing news now, we're bringing you more details on death row inmate Richard Glossop's stay of execution. Governor Kevin Stitt granted a second reprieve to give the appeals court more time to look at petitions by Glossop's team. Now, one deals with what the team calls misconduct from the state. The other petition deals with new evidence. Glossop's lawyer, Don Knight, says that Justin Sneed is responsible for the 1997 murder of Barry Van Trees and only gave evidence convicting Glossop so he wouldn't get the death penalty.
The two Justin Sneeds are one who tells the police and the prosecutors what they want to hear when he talks to them. And then the second one is when he's with his friends in jail, he tells them what really happened.
The state criminal appeals court could take up the petitions and toss the conviction, or it could deny them outright, leaving Glossop to be put to death in February. Well, State Representative Kevin McDougal, one of 62 lawmakers calling for a new evidentiary hearing, responded to Governor Stitt's decision. He said in part, quote, "I am thankful Governor Stitt's wise decision to grant Richard Glossip a 60-day reprieve to give the Oklahoma Court of Criminal Appeals time to complete its work." He later urged the court to reverse the conviction or grant a full evidentiary hearing. Richard Fairchild is the next person scheduled to be executed after the Pardon and Parole Board denied his clemency request. His execution is set for November 17th. All right, we continue to follow key races for the upcoming election. One of them is the gubernatorial battle between State Superintendent Joy Hoffmeister and Governor Kevin Stitt. Opponents of Stitt have criticized how he spent taxpayer dollars during his first term. We asked how Oklahomans can be sure that their tax dollars are safe.
The only reason we have the largest savings account in state history, and I was able to do tax cuts for every single Oklahoma, is because we are being transparent. We have audited more state agencies than any other governor. I'm going to continue to hold government accountable and flat.
Now, education was also a hot topic for both candidates. The governor supported a plan that would have allowed parents to use tax dollars for private schools, which his opponent called, quote, a rural school killer. Here's what Stitt had to say.
But we believe in putting money into our classrooms, not at administration. We want to promote our teachers. We want higher standards. We want more options, more charter schools, more Christian schools, more private schools. But I want everybody to know that the rural schools in Oklahoma, we're going to continue to promote, make sure they don't lose one dime.
Now, we have a lot more from our sit down with Governor Stitt on OKCFox.com. You can also find our interview with Superintendent Hoffmeister there as well. Well, happening today, Joy Hoffmeister's hometown tour bus will be in Norman at Rudy's on Highway 9 this afternoon at 4 for a rally. Hoffmeister plans to make 50 stops in 27 counties between now and November 7th. Tomorrow, she'll be at the Choctaw Nation powwow in Durant before heading to Pauls Valley. And Del City Middle School and Midwest City Middle School are shifting to remote learning today. It's because a large number of staff and students are absent. The Mid-Del District says that other schools will continue with in-person learning. And also happening today, health experts are hosting a conference to encourage people to get vaccines. Now, the Stand Up for Science Summit happens from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. at Nicholson Tower near Northeast 13th and Kelly Avenue. Speakers include the CDC's Dr. Andrew Kroger and Oklahoma Alliance for Healthy Families Chair Dr. Stephen Crawford. Also happening today, 988 Leadership will reveal a new mural this afternoon at 12:30 at Equity Brewing Company in Norman. 988 is the new lifeline number for suicide prevention and mental health resources. We'll have updates right here on Fox 25. And the Mistletoe Market kicks off today at the Oklahoma City Convention Center from now until 7 p.m. You can buy gourmet food, gifts, jewelry, and more. Tickets are $15 for adults and $10 for seniors. The event raises money for the Junior League of Oklahoma City. The Mistletoe Market runs through Sunday. And OU Sooners are back home in Norman tomorrow to take on Baylor at 2 p.m. The Sooners coming off a win against Iowa State. Meanwhile, Baylor recently beat Texas Tech. And also Oklahoma State hitting the road this Saturday to take on the Kansas Jayhawks at 2:30. The Cowboys coming off a tough loss against Kansas State last Saturday, and Kansas coming off a loss against Baylor 2 weeks ago.
Now your Fox 25 Storm Watch forecast from the Muffin Roofing Weather Center.
Well, it's been a bit of a busy morning for us here in the Fox 25 Mop and Weather Center, and we've had quite a few storms track through the area, but thankfully our severe threat is really starting to go down because our cold front is getting ahead of these storms. You can see where the winds are changing directions, especially near the I-35 corridor there, well ahead of those storms. That's why our severe threat has really gone down. But something else we're starting to focus on are the wind chills and the temperatures. We'll take a look at that in just a moment. Still going to see a few showers across the metro area, maybe a few small non-severe storms, but overall, like I said, the severe threat has really come down. You can see a couple of isolated showers starting to develop in Canadian County, even on the western fringe of Oklahoma County there. But look at these temperatures. I mean, this is just crazy. Look at this, what the cold front has done to our temperatures. Massive temperature drop. You can see clearly where that cold front is. Oklahoma City still around 70 degrees, but not too far off to the northwest. We got temperatures in the 30s and 40s. And then once you factor in the wind chills, we got wind chills in the 20s and 30s off to the northwest. So you'll know when this cold front moves through your area. The temperatures will be dropping pretty quickly, especially as we head throughout this afternoon. But don't worry, it doesn't stay too cold for too long. As we head into the weekend, things will be pretty nice. Saturday, we get to enjoy the 60s during the afternoon, back in the 70s on Sunday.
Wow, buckle up, folks. Here it's coming. All right, thanks, Elliot. Well, an election official has been fired just days before midterms. We're breaking down the allegations that are surfacing after the break. And we got a live look, taking a look at more Oklahoma right now. We're getting pretty close to that cold front coming our way. We'll have more in your forecast coming up.
Well, new at 11, we are learning about a rainbow fentanyl bust that occurred from OBN, the Oklahoma Bureau of Narcotics, putting this photo on their Facebook page and social media pages, saying that so-called rainbow fentanyl was seized this week by OBN agents during an ongoing investigation. They go on to say that while drug traffickers are not intentionally targeting children with this drug, it could easily be mistaken for candy because of the way it looks. OBN encouraging parents to talk to their kids about the dangers of drugs. They also say anyone can anonymously report any drug activity by sending them a private message on their social media. We'll continue watching for updates here at the Live Desk.
All right, Jennifer, thank you. Well, across the nation, federal prosecutors have rested their case against Oath Keepers founder Stewart Rhodes. Rhodes and 4 associates face seditious conspiracy and other charges for their roles in the January 6th Capitol riot. Rhodes is expected to take the witness stand in his defense. Meta now ranks at the very bottom of the S&P 500. Over the past year, shares have slumped 73%. Investors seem concerned about the company's plans to build the metaverse focused on virtual reality. Meta is betting on it as the next frontier, hoping to become the industry leader. An election official in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, has been fired for alleged ballot fraud just days before the midterms. The city's mayor says that Kimberly Zapata, the deputy director of Milwaukee Election Commission, was fired yesterday. Zapata allegedly obtained military absentee ballots for fake voters and sent them to a Republican state lawmaker who previously questioned the results of the 2020 election. And election misinformation is running rampant on the site called Rumble. That's according to a recent analysis from a firm called NewsGuard that monitors the spread of online misinformation. It reports that nearly half of the videos Rumble suggested under election-related searches come from untrustworthy sources. All right, let's get checking on with Elliot with our forecast. That cold front's coming.
Oh, yeah, it's starting to move into portions of Oklahoma County right now. We still have some showers out to the west that are still tracking eastward. Luckily, the cold front has gotten ahead of these showers, which means that our severe threat has really come down quite a bit. We may still get 1 or 2 strong storms over the southern portion of our viewing area in the next couple of hours, but overall, that severe threat is much lower. We're mainly looking to see a line of heavier showers move through as we go throughout the rest of the midday and afternoon hours. Even got a few isolated showers trying to develop in the western portions of Oklahoma County right now. We'll see more of these shift eastward as we head throughout the next couple of hours. Once we get to about, I'd say, 3 to 4 o'clock this afternoon, most of this should be out of our area, but then our attention turns to these winds. We've got wind gusts around 20 to 30 miles an hour. Some spots seeing slightly higher wind gusts than that, and that's really brought down our temperatures. And again, this is all because of that cold front, and you can definitely see where that cold front is right now. I mean, look at that temperature change. You drive just an hour off to the northwest from Oklahoma City, you will see a big temperature difference. Still at 71 in Oklahoma City. Out in Watauga, we're at 43 right now, but something else you got to keep in mind are the wind chills. But also want to zoom into the metro real quick to show you this temperature change. Yukon's at 46 now, Oklahoma City still at 71. So a big temperature change in a very short distance. But look at these wind chills right now in the 20s and 30s off to the northwest. Wind chills not having an impact in the metro area yet, but they are going to here probably in the next couple of hours at the latest. And then as we go throughout this evening, all of us are going to be seeing wind chills in the 30s. So be prepared for some cold temperatures as we head throughout this evening and even as we head into the overnight as well. But thankfully, as we head into the weekend, everything will start to warm back up pretty quickly. We'll be back in the 60s tomorrow afternoon. Then we get to enjoy the 70s on Sunday. And then we stay in the 70s as we go throughout next week. But this evening, definitely bundle up because That cold front is bringing in some chilly conditions.
Yeah, definitely looking pretty cold on that map. All right, thanks, Elliot. Well, check this out. The largest freshwater fish in the Amazon makes a comeback. Whoa, that's a horse right there. This is the Pararichu. There you go. Well, it can weigh over 400 pounds and measure more than 6 feet in length. Thanks to government restrictions, the fish's population has increased. Now fishing is done once a year in September, and the number of fish caught is capped. That's
Wow.
a big fish right there.
Wayne, you've been noodling. What is this? Does this remind you of that?
That
a
would
little
eat
bit?
half my body.
Yeah.
It would just swallow my face. That's probably what would happen.
Oh my gosh.
Whole arm. Oh man, they're cutting it up.
Yeah. That can feed, what, like 100 people or
lot.
something?
Yeah,
I mean, oh my gosh.
That's a huge
it's a
animal
big
right there.
fish.
That's for
frightening.
Sure. Well, coming up, consumers expected to spend more this holiday season. We're taking a look at how the retail landscape is changing for your holiday shopping. And we're live taking a look at Lake Hefner. Those clouds are coming in right there, and it's going to be getting colder pretty soon today. We'll have more in your forecast coming up. We're back, folks, with a great shot at downtown. You can see those clouds, those real dark clouds right there. We're going to be cold pretty soon. That's coming up. And that goes hand in hand with the holiday season. And, of course, shopping as well. Consumers, they're expected to spend at least $53 billion more than last year, according to the National Retail Federation. National correspondent Ahtra Elnashar has a closer look at what the season will look like for shoppers.
The headwinds of inflation aren't keeping American consumers from making their holiday shopping lists. The National Retail Federation predicts sales will grow between 6% and 8% from last year.
See you again soon.
But rising prices and supply chain issues are changing the retail landscape. Each year, holiday merchandise seems to arrive in stores earlier and earlier. This year, you can partly blame that on inflation. Walmart, Target, among those that started holiday promotions in early October. While data show inflation has consumers eager to snag early deals, the CEO of Overstock explains another reason for the flood of early discounts.
There's been excess inventory in the market. Everyone is being aggressive.
But some shoppers are still paying off what they bought last year. About 42 million Americans who used credit cards to buy gifts last year still haven't paid off their balance, according to NerdWallet. They say this happens every year, but it's especially risky now.
We're also in an environment right now with rising interest rates, so that credit card debt is just getting more expensive.
NerdWallet finds about 3/4 of holiday shoppers plan to use credit cards to buy gifts this year, on average charging $663.
With higher prices, it means that it's a lot harder for people to rely only on their savings. And so the next place to turn is credit cards.
There are fewer options, though, for avoiding rising costs of other holiday staples like turkeys and Christmas trees, as farmers are up against an avian flu, high operating costs, and an overall imbalance of supply and demand. This Christmas tree farmer in North Carolina says when he starts selling later this month, he expects his trees to sell out in 10 days.
We're having to kind of ration and prorate our inventory.
Farmers, shoppers, retailers, all planning ahead to make the holidays feel normal during an economic moment that's anything but. In Washington, I'm Ahtra Elnashar reporting.
All right, well, coming up, two hot topics of conversation have two midterm candidates finding common ground. What they both agree are the biggest issues Oklahomans are currently facing and how they're appealing to voters. We're live outside taking a look at the Amarillo Junction. Got some pretty bright skies right there, but it's going to be pretty cold pretty soon. We'll have some more on your forecast coming up.
This is the Fox 25 News at 11.
Good Friday morning, Oklahoma. Welcome to Fox 25 News at 11. Glad you're sticking with us. I'm Wayne Stafford. We have some weather to talk about today. Let's turn things over to meteorologist Elliot Wilson. Elliot, you were just telling me in about an hour we're going to see temps in the 40s.
Yeah, in the Oklahoma City area, yes. And right now we're still technically in the 70s. I'll show you the temperatures in just a moment. It's because of this cold front that's moving through right now. And you'll notice that the cold front right here is ahead of that line of showers and very small storms, which is good because that's going to lower our severe threat. However, we are seeing some development along that front over the southern portion of our viewing area. So our severe weather threat isn't at zero yet. We still may see a couple of stronger storms south of I-40 as we head throughout the next couple of hours, but the overall threat has gone down because of that cold front getting ahead of these storms. But now all of our eyes are turning to these chilly conditions. We got wind gusts around 20 to 30 miles an hour, even higher than that in a few isolated spots. But look at this cold front and what it's done to our temperatures. Huge temperature difference in a very short distance. Still at 70 here in Oklahoma City, but probably for like an hour or so will we stay around that. But our temperature is going to be coming down pretty soon. And not that far off to the northwest, you got temperatures in the 30s and in the 40s as well. But then you throw in the wind chill, of course, with these wind gusts. Wind chill is going to be an issue as we head throughout the afternoon. It's going to feel more like winter later on today just because of these wind chills. Right now we got wind chills in the 20s and 30s off to the northwest, and this will be gradually coming southward as we head throughout the rest of the day. We'll talk more about this and also look ahead to your weekend coming up in a few minutes.
Well, just into our newsroom, a longtime ally of former President Donald Trump has been cleared of all charges against him. Donald Trump's inaugural committee chair, Tom Barrack, was acquitted on all counts today at a federal trial where he was accused of using his personal access at the former Republican president to secretly promote the interests of the UAE. Now, the jury deliberated for 3 days before finding him not guilty of acting as an unregistered agent of a foreign government, obstruction of justice, and making false statements. He had denied those charges. We'll be watching for updates here at the live desk.
All right, Jen, thanks. Well, let's get back out to that breaking news. Crews still on scene of a semi-rollover crash on I-35 near Northeast 36. It looks like the semi was just towed away. Fox 25's Victor Park is there. Victor, what's the latest?
That's right. The semi-truck just got towed away by crews, but the cleanup continues. As you see over here, crews have been cleaning up all this grain that is used to feed cattle. They have been pouring it onto that truck over there. Meanwhile, there are guardrail repairs happening further north. So again, the cleanup continues. Fortunately, the driver of the semi was not injured, and it was the only vehicle involved in this accident. One more note here. Can I just say, to the point of Elliot Wilson, these crews came here when it was around 70 degrees. Many of them came in short sleeves, and then all of a sudden we felt that cold front come in, and it felt like the temperature dropped by more than 20 degrees. Many of them started scrambling, putting their jackets on, only delaying the cleanup efforts over here. But right now, they brought the sweeper in. They got to take care of this and the guardrail before they reopen up traffic to the southbound side of I-35. We'll send it back to you.
Thanks, Victor. Yeah, today was definitely a layers kind of day. Well, happening across Oklahoma, Moore Police Department bought these new pepper ball launchers as a new non-lethal option for de-escalating situations. Now, police say they'll be used in the field office. Police are in place, and when policies are in place, then police are trained. Well, police are warning local businesses that criminals are using fake money. Now, the Gary Police Department has been dealing with the issue for the last 2 years. Police say that there's an easy way to tell if your dollar bill is real or fake.
The one big thing is if you hold it up to the light, it's the watermarking on there and the coloring. And if you ever have that chance, you know, if you see fake money, you can compare it and you can definitely tell the difference. Some of it's the discoloration.
Now, police say that fake money can have major consequences all the way up to the federal level. Well, we've got your back this upcoming midterm. It's right around the corner. Now, the state legislature redrew district boundaries last year, but not everyone agrees with the change. Fox 25's Capitol reporter Payton May introduces two candidates whose race could be impacted by those new district lines.
While Representatives Stephanie Bice and Joshua Harris-Till have differing views on recently popular topics, election integrity and student loan forgiveness, they both agree that the biggest issues facing Oklahomans right now are inflation and the workforce.
To be able to give relief to Oklahoma families, we have to bring energy prices down. And so my focus and my message has been unleash Oklahoma energy independence as well.
Too many folks are leaving the state to work on jobs that we need to be having them work on right here in Oklahoma. I want to see more infrastructure dollars here going to Oklahoma contractors.
A key part of this race has less to do about the candidates and more about the voters. voters. CD5, a previously urban and suburban populated area, was redistricted to eliminate southern Oklahoma City and now includes rural counties. The candidates express opposite opinions on the switch-up.
The way this district is set up, we don't know if we'll be able to keep it in 2 years because they did do a pretty effective job at gerrymandering it.
I have urban area in the Oklahoma City metro, suburban and the outlying, Yukon, Edmond, and then I get the rural counties. I was given Lincoln, Southern Logan, and then part of Canadian County.
To the recently added and previous voters, both candidates have a message before you head to the polls.
Whether you are a farmer, a business owner, I get to see the best of Oklahoma right in the 5th district, and my focus is going to be making sure that I can find ways to support all of those individuals.
I want to use this platform to create solutions right now, real, tangible changes that people are going to be able to be proud of.
And that was Payton May reporting. Election day isn't until Tuesday. It's coming up, but you're able to vote right now during the early voting period. You have until 6 o'clock today, or you can head to the polls tomorrow from 8 to 2 p.m. Well, Oklahoma City released the Veterans Day schedule. City offices, Animal Welfare and Parks Department, rec centers will be closed next Friday. That's Veterans Day. Embark buses and the streetcar will have reduced hours from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Trash services will not be affected. In Fox 25, Kroger Delivery and the Regional Food Bank of Oklahoma are teaming up to feed hungry families this holiday season. The Kroger Delivery and Fox 25 food drive runs through November 25th. Kroger is now delivering groceries to the Oklahoma City Metro. For every order made during the drive, Kroger will donate $5 to the Regional Food Bank. If you want to participate, we have a link on okcfox.com. Well, looking ahead, the Marriott Botanical Gardens is hosting its free-for-all event tomorrow at the Sheridan Lawn from 9 to noon. Visitors can buy trees for $20 each. Now, they're all available on a first-come, first-served basis, so get there soon, guys. And you'll still have to set your clocks back an hour this weekend. The Sunshine Protection Act was approved in the Senate earlier this year, but it stalled in the House. The Energy and Commerce Committee is still working for votes to pass it. We fall back this Sunday at 2 a.m. All right, now for your national news. The U.S. is down to about a 25-day supply of diesel fuel. Typically, that number is closer to 35 or 40, but energy experts say it sounds worse than it is. It's down because and Russia's war in Ukraine. But gas will continue being refined and demand will slow.
This president has been focused on what he can do and the tools he can use to try to bring down the cost of gas at the pump. And we've made very significant progress. Since the beginning of the summer, where the average price of the pump was over $5, we're now down more than $1.25.
Unlike regular gas, diesel probably won't impact most Americans at the pump, but it will hurt them at the grocery store because popular mobile app celebrated its 10th anniversary in the sky. Here's a sneak peek to show that was visible all through Lower Manhattan.
This segment is sponsored by Mathis Brothers.
Adding a puppy to your family is a big decision that shouldn't be taken lightly, especially considering that this is often a 10 to 15-year commitment. If you're wanting a specific breed, choosing a reliable and ethical breeder is the first and most important step. Pet store pups or backyard breeders, the health and behavioral issues frequently diagnosed in these pets mean you should avoid this route at all costs. Instead, find a breeder that allows you to ask questions and who has taken the appropriate steps to make sure that the animals used in their breeding stock won't pass on unwanted health or behavioral issues and disorders. Talk to your vet about what questions you should be asking before making that furry addition to your family. Connect with us at our station website by looking up For Pet's Sake. We'd also love to see your favorite pet moments that explore. Chime in and upload your pet-tastic photos.
We got a live look outside right here. It's looking pretty nice, but hey, it's getting pretty chilly out there. It's the Amarillo Junction taking a look at Oklahoma City. And some big news in the Twitterverse. General Mills, whose brands include Cheerios and Betty Crocker, says that it's putting its Twitter advertising on ownership and direction. Despite new owner Elon Musk's attempts to soothe advertisers, hate speech and racist comments have increased on the platform since his takeover. Well, the Houston's Astros no-hitter Wednesday night was the most watched Game 4 since 2019. The World Series is split at 2 games apiece after Houston notched a 5-0 win. The game was seen by more than 11.8 million viewers. That's up 9% from last year and up 23% from 2020. Great game right there. All right, how's our weather looking, Elliot?
Well, things are really starting to get cold out there, especially across our western counties. The western portion of Oklahoma County, that's where that cold front is starting to move in. Got a few showers developing over the western portion of Oklahoma County. This line of showers will keep tracking eastward as we head throughout the next few hours. We are seeing some development ahead of the front, though, so our severe weather threat is not completely gone yet. We do still have a low-end severe weather threat. In fact, the SBC has updated the severe weather outlook as we head throughout the next few hours. Our southern counties are still in the slight risk category, but for the most part, the severe weather threat has shifted a lot more to the east, especially down to the southeast. The far southeastern corner of the state actually has a moderate risk for this afternoon, so we'll be seeing some pretty strong storms down there. But for us, the main thing we're going to be paying attention to now are these temperatures as we go throughout the rest of the afternoon. As far as the rain's concerned, once we get to about 3 to 4 o'clock this afternoon, most of it should be out of our viewing area. But things are really starting to get cold because of these gusty north winds tracking into our area. Anywhere from 20 to 30 mile an hour wind gusts are being seen in our viewing area, but we do have some isolated spots like here and even out near Hobart where wind gusts are a little bit higher, and that's why the wind chill is really starting to come into play. But look at these temperatures right now. This cold front has really brought down temperatures across our area in the 30s and 40s off to the northwest. Oklahoma City now starting to dip down into the 50s, so a very quick temperature change, and that's what we're going to be seeing as we head throughout the rest of the afternoon. So Lawton, Duncan, and Chickasha, they're in the 70s right now, but in a few hours from now, they're going to be seeing that quick temperature change as well. Wind chills right now are in the 20s and 30s off to the northwest, and this is what's going to be streaming southward as we head throughout the rest of the afternoon. So do be prepared for some chilly conditions this evening. Here's a look at those wind chills as we go throughout the evening. The 20-degree wind chills are mainly going to stay off to the northwest, but the rest of us will be even through the overnight. But thankfully, as we head throughout the day tomorrow after sunrise, our temperatures will warm up pretty quickly because winds will be turning back out of the south. We'll be in the 60s tomorrow, back in the 70s on Sunday.
All right, thanks, Elliot. Well, make sure you sign up for our newsletter. You can read the topical news stories affecting your area, along with national headlines, all delivered right to your inbox. Just go to our Ahtra website and click on this Stay Connected button. And here's what's coming tonight on Fox 25 at 7. It's WWE Friday Night SmackDown. And then get your day's news on the Fox 25 News at 9 with Dan Snyder and Wendy Suarez. Genevieve Gorder is here with a solution to help quickly charge all your devices in today's America's Steals and Deals.
The following segment is sponsored by Noki.
Hey everybody, today I've got something to fix a pet peeve we all struggle with. An uncharged phone, or maybe it's your laptop or your tablet. It all feels annoying and can be unsafe, and it bugs all of us. This is the Magnetic Static 360 charging cable. Now, it is a hyper fast charger and the only cable you're ever going to need. And here's why it's special. Static chargers can charge your phone up to 8 times faster. They're magnetic and they rotate 360 degrees. So if it's yanked accidentally by your kid, your dog, or you, no worries. There's no damage. Your phone's not going to fall on the floor. You get 3 universal connectors. Insert the one you need and snap it on the cord, which is great. Plus, Static makes these amazing snap and charge portable chargers with the same magnetic tips for charging on the go. There's so many different chargers. This one is extra. I travel a lot. I bring in laptop, a speaker, headphones, my phone. It's a lot of different types of chargers. And with the Magnetic Static 360, I only need 1 cord because none of us like cords. Let's just be honest about it. Today, we are offering up to 50% off packs of 2 or 3 cables with different lengths, as well as the Snap and Charge charger. Take advantage of this deal before we run out. Go to asadeals.com.
Well, Well, this morning, Oklahoma City police looking for information about a man they say is involved in a theft at a Metro Home Depot. Do you recognize this man? Some pretty good surveillance photos released on social media by the police department. They say he stole over $1,000 in merchandise from the Home Depot near Northwest 59th and May. He ran out into the parking lot and got into the passenger side of this SUV, a silver SUV here. They say any tips can be submitted to Crime Stoppers and could lead to a cash reward. The number to call, 405-235-7300. We'll be watching for updates here at the live desk.
The following segment is sponsored by Bronze.
Oh, man. This is what we needed on Friday. All right, you've been chiming in, sending us your pics, and Linda send us this gem right here of her cat and a cowboy hat. Linda, thank you so much. This is what I need on a Friday. Cats and Cowboys hats. Thank you. We want to see your photos. It's easy. Just go to our website, okcfox.com. Click on Chime In at the top of the page. Then watch Fox 25, which might feature your favorite photos. And Elliot, nothing better than animals and clothing. It just doesn't get any better than that.
Oh, I know, and it's perfect. And you may want to stay inside. Perfect. Yeah, okay, I see what you did there. Not too bad. And, you know, this will be an afternoon where you'll want to snuggle up with your pets because it's going to get pretty cold out there. In fact, some of our counties are already getting pretty cold out there. We got these showers tracking in from the west. They'll keep moving eastward as we head throughout the next few hours. Once we get to late afternoon, most of this should be starting to fizzle out. And then we look at these temperatures. This is going to be the next big story as we head into the evening. Right now, we've got quite a bit of variability in our temperatures, although Oklahoma County is starting to cool down. Oklahoma City is at 50 right now. Southern counties are still in the 60s and 70s, but they're going to be cooling down in a few hours. Just off to the west, we got temperatures in the 30s and the 40s. And then you throw in the wind chills. It feels like we're in the 20s and 30s over our northern counties, even out to the west. Wind chills haven't had a huge effect yet on the eastern portions of Oklahoma County, but they will pretty soon. We'll be seeing some wind chills popping up here probably in the next 30 minutes or so. Wind chills as we go throughout the evening, going to stay on the chilly side. We'll see those wind chills get into the 30s for all of us as we head into the late evening hours, and then they'll stay that way as we go into the overnight. But luckily tomorrow after sunrise, our temperatures are going to be warming up pretty quickly. We'll make it back into the 60s tomorrow afternoon, and then highs will be in the 70s on Sunday, and then we stay there as we head throughout next week. So we just got to get through the rest of today, and then things are looking pretty good.
All right. Thanks, Elliot. Well, check this out, folks. Hundreds of drones used the New York skyline as an advertising billboard yesterday evening. It was all to celebrate the 10th anniversary of the mobile game Candy Crush. Take a look at that, a big heart.
Oh, my. Wow.
This is 500 drones.
They say this is going to be the new fireworks.
Yeah, I mean, well,
it makes sense.
We've already seen it. I mean, it's, I guess, safer.
Yeah, better for the environment.
Easier. We can reuse them.
Yeah, you can probably do a lot cooler of stuff too, because all you have to do is just program the drone. It flies to a certain spot, and off you go.
That'd be crazy to just see like flying, like hovering billboards, like massive billboards in the sky everywhere.
You're speaking it into existence. I think that's probably the future.
That's where we're heading toward there.
It will be a little creepy if you get too close to it, because then you'll start hearing all this buzzing. So that'll be a little bit ominous, maybe, but maybe keep your distance, and that's cool.
This future of like more buzzing going on everywhere.
That reminds me of Spider-Man Far From Home when he used the drones and whatnot.
There you go. It's already in the movies.
Nobody knows what I'm talking about.
Thanks for joining us on this Friday at Fox 25 News 11. Have a great afternoon, everyone. We'll see you back here at 5.